how tough is KG Gunkote? Well, you can see we're laser engraving through it right now. We just did 21 passes, 21 left, 21 right, and one outline. I'll clean that up in a minute. We'll take a look and see how it held up. Okay guys, as you can see, we got a nice clean image on the gun here, and this has been KG Gunkote. This is our brushed stainless color. That is 10 thousandths deep. Now, prior, when we tried to laser engrave through Cerakote, when we used Cerakote years ago, the colors like this, any of the light colors, they would just burn all around the edges and discolor and start to flake off. Now you can see with the KG Gunkote here, we don't have any problem like that. And what I had to do, there was a little discoloration, and basically what it was is when you are engraving here, the metal is actually dissipating off the material. It's actually turning into little bits, and it would come off, and it forms a little ring around it. And you could probably see that earlier in the video we took. A little bit of really fine steel wool. It's beyond triple lot steel wool. We just rubbed that down a little bit and it came right off. So it didn't affect the coating at all. As you can see, we have a nice scrolled image there. Like I said, that's 10 thousandths deep. It looks good. Now the advantage of doing it and then coating is that you can actually take, we use an 8 micron, which is, I want to say 2000 grit sandpaper, and we knock the edge off of that, because there is a tiny burr still on the outside edge of that. So if you were going to knock that burr off with a little bit of sandpaper, the image would look even sharper. So it's really dependent on what you want to do, what you're trying to accomplish. If we're going to do a full scroll on something like this, it's nice to have the dark color of what the engraving leaves afterwards, which is actually burnishing the metal closed. We can change the colors somewhat as well too. We can get a really nice black. We can also get silvers and golds and stuff like that. This is a true fiber optic yttrium laser, so this is not one of the cheap eBay CO2 lasers you see a lot of other guys offering. It only mark the surface when you use inks and dyes. This is actually, like I said earlier, 10 thousandths deep into the material, which is a little over 3 times the depth that ATF requires. So you guys that want to do NFA items and stuff like that, we can coat them first and then do the engraving afterwards. If you want to do a light color like the brushed stainless here and be able to have a black afterwards, you can also do, like I said earlier, get a sharper image by knocking down that little bit of a burr that's left over, and then you'd have to color fill. Obviously, looking at something like this would be a little hard to color fill. It can still be done though. So as you can see though, it does look really nice, and it's only if you really zoom up, and I don't even know if we'll be able to get close enough to see any of the burr. I don't think I can zoom in that far with this. Yeah, you can't really tell. Obviously, if I zoom out, let's see, we'll put something in there. So here's a pen cap. You can kind of see how big a pen cap is. So that's a really small engraving, but it gives you the idea of, you know, how big, how close we are right now with the engraving and everything. So naked eye, you're really not going to see that burr, but with knocking that burr down, it will seem a lot cleaner. So if you were to take two of them and set them right next to each other, one without the burr, you looked at the one with the burr first, you'd be, wow, that looks awesome. Then when you looked at the one without the burr, you would definitely see the difference between the two. So plus, like I said, the disadvantages are, if you want that dark color, it's easier to do it after the gun's been coated. I'm going to try some other colors here. This was my test prototype to see how this would work on the KG Gunkote. Like I said, way better than the Cerakote. We couldn't do it with the Cerakote before just because the Cerakote would burn off and it would flake, and That's a lot of temperature here. Think Star Wars lightsaber ripping into the metal. I mean, this is removing metal with a laser beam, so high heat involved with this. The Cerakote didn't hold up, KG Gunkote did.